So, Uruz and Hagalaz. There's no happy Frigg's Day, as I probably should have done, could have done, or maybe it's things are changing and I'm working in a different way. So staying to the Odin's Day, Frigg's Day revelations, and then concluding on Tears Day. There's something about all that makes a lot of sense, and yet also with things changing and taking into account what I'm experiencing or how I'm experiencing Uruz and Hagalaz, I think there's I don't have to be rigid in my practice like I did in Volume 1 of The Path of Power once I started going into the runes. Once I started on my runic journey, there were, for a week or two, no real set pattern. I'm kind of in that situation to an extent. However, I'm adjusting, and what day I do certain things on isn't so critical at this moment in time. This is in no way any sort of intended disrespect to the gods or to the runes. I think more as I'm sort of going into this stage of it being sort of more an internal journey, or sort of a combination or more open. The options have to be open. So on Frigg's Day, yesterday, there were a few things I had noticed about myself, or sort of attempting to reach a sort of point of revelation, or maybe how Uruz and Hagalaz had sort of been manifesting around me, or I'd been manifesting them within me, that I realised I had sort of stopped some aspects of my practice and sort of let that sort of bobble along the ocean, without actively doing anything about it. What I would say is, at this moment in time, Uruz and Hagalaz feel very vibrant and active in my life at the moment. And that's as much my own issue as sort of aspects around my life. And that's not... I'm trying not to make it sound too dramatic. While it's seeing it around my life, and obviously Uruz being something that represents strength, I feel that I'm drawing on strength at the moment that I need, and that there's a lot of chaos, a lot of Hagalaz around. And yesterday in particular, I reached a point where it's just sort of, okay, I've made some decisions, and that's helped me sort of ground myself a little bit better. And looking back on the episode I sort of put forward to you on Wednesday, on Odin's Day, there were some things about it I wasn't happy with, because I felt I was while I was addressing things within my social life, there was something about it that felt I let myself down with. However, in sort of, I don't know, some self-therapy and working through it and dissecting my situation for myself, I made a decision. The decision has been seen through, and I'm happier with that burden off of my mind. I don't have to worry about it. I look at it very much as with the combination of Uruz and Hagalaz, that there's a matter of sort of, and no, not necessarily stoically, but sort of being resilient to things going on around me and dealing with them, dealing with what are priorities and what are not priorities, picking my situations, my sort of dilemmas to solve in what's important and what's not so important. And in many ways, once I've reached this point of, I don't know, understanding with myself and taken on board, I'd not done a meditation, I'd not sort of accepted the runes, sort of connected to them properly, I was out of sorts, and I've done that now. And I would say to some extent, almost immediately in having done that, I reached a level of calmer understanding. I was better for it. It's like when you're, I don't know, it's allowed me access to a deeper reserve to sort of not succumb to sort of negative sort of feelings. This by no means that there's some things I want to resolve or should sort of seek to sort of make situations better. It does, however, mean rather than sort of, I don't know, feeling sorry for myself, I'm in more of a position of, no, you've come to this sort of situation as a reaction to things outside of your control, and you are trying to do the best without sort of compromising your own integrity. I am trying not to compromise my own integrity with things I've got or things that are going on around me, and that are not in my control. To some extent, I would say, and this is where I see the Uruz and Hagalaz sort of strength within sort of chaos or destruction or transformation, is there are some situations where even doing the right thing for you doesn't mean you feel good about it. And I guess there's no easy way to put this. Some situations will always be a bit rubbish, and you wonder sort of, if I kept the peace or sort of done something different, would it have been any better? Well, I suppose for external sort of aspects, it might be better for them, let's call them people. For other people, it might be better. Yet you would still be carrying that on you. and getting more frustrated, or getting as equally frustrated and as equally damaged by a situation, because you, I don't know, refuse to sort of confront it or sort of face up to it. Now, a confrontation doesn't mean you have to sort of oppose another person. It's even sort of a confrontation within yourself. And this is probably the thing I am driving at the most. I can feel sort of bad about a situation, and it makes me feel sort of worse that I maybe could just let it go or sort of not do anything about it, and that in doing something about it I feel equally as crap. But you have to sort of accept that over time you'll adjust. I've always been very much sort of an opinion that it's for other people to let me down, not for me to let other people down. I've not always done that. I'm no angel. I'm not perfect. I have made my fair share of mistakes. I do, however, sort of, I don't know, you can give and give and give. And at some point, there's always going to be a point where it's not being reciprocated in the right way, and you have to deal with that in some way. This is where Uruz really sort of, I don't know, has to come in, because you have to find the strength to at least sort of have some integrity within yourself, even if the situation remains a bit rubbish. It can be tough. There's no denying that. And you just really got to hope that sort of you remain sort of strong, endure the situation, and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Suelo will light, illuminate, or that in the distance Kenaz will burn a path for you to sort of travel towards, to ride towards. It's, or maybe it won't. There's only so much you can do, and it is, I believe, sort of an incredibly important aspect of developing or holding on to your own power, your own person, your personality, what makes you you. And I don't know. It's good to question yourself, because everyone else is going to do it. And I always believe that to listen to other people's questioning of you, it's important if you've already sort of considered these things. Or that sort of, I don't know, someone will raise something, will question you with a line of thinking you haven't considered. These are all possible things. I guess without rambling on too much now and sort of walking around in circles around sort of Uruz and Hagalaz, it feels very much sort of the right position to begin going deeper into my runic journey. going into myself, connecting to the runes in a deeper way, guided by the gods, ancestors, and the people around me. If it was easy, it probably wouldn't be worth doing. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see what the next video I put out in regards to my path of power. I'm trying not to be consumed by frustration with the rings of power. I want my joy in Middle Earth to be a guilty pleasure that I make videos on this channel, and it not to dominate my true path, my more important path, my calling, as it were. Yeah, so thank you for listening to me, and may you have a good day, a good time. Do take care. See you soon. Goodbye.